Have you ever felt so lost and helpless in your life that you wished you were in a different world? I'm Arnit, and on March 5th, 2020, little did I know, my whole life and the world as I know it would change in a way I could never have imagined. A deadly virus was extending its reach all around us, and the world had reached its climax. Everything around me was coming to a screeching halt, and my whole life and the world as I know it would change in a way I could never have imagined. People all around me were scrambling for answers, but I knew deep down that this was our creation. We had brought this on ourselves, and our world was having to fight back in a way it knows best, by destruction and creation. So that brings me back up to our topic, our world. What would I like it to be? What could I do to make it better? And how do we want to see it in the years to come? So, for a second, I just want you to imagine that our world was perfect. No diseases, no flaws, no hate, no violence, no manipulation, and no boxed walls to hold us in. And also, a place where there's no materialism, where there's true freedom and the unity of all existence. Let me ask you, would you want to be a part of it? Can we create it? And most importantly, how can we create it? As Helen Keller once said, for years to come, the debris of a convulsed world will beset our steps. It will require a purpose stronger than any man and worthy of all men to calm and inspire us. It is not going to be ordained for us. We must make it ourselves. So I believe the first step to creating that world and society would be to believe in it, to work towards creating it. Each one of us, whether working individually or together, thinking one small step at a time or multiple steps at a time, hell, even a giant step at a time. Perhaps we could then create a perfect world where people could live in harmony with each other, where innovation, creativity, and freedom of expression would not be stifled, where people could finally understand each other, and even so called misfits and mavericks of the society would be included and welcomed. A perfect world where greed isn't the ultimate goal, a world rid of the politics across all underdeveloped and developed regions, and where a world where lies aren't peddled for one's existence. A world where basic human rights need not have to be boxed under SDGs. I mean, sustainable development goals. Come on. Development goals shouldn't even exist in our world. SDGs should not exist. It is a basic human right. So, I know there'll be many out there who argue on that existence of that world. But with a little faith and belief, I believe that we could work towards achieving the same. Perhaps in the next 100 years, who knows? But I believe one thing. If we, the youth of today, the building blocks of our future, can take small steps or multiple steps towards this goal, the future is going to be magical. Who knows, maybe in another 60 years, a rebel might get a hold of this TED Talk and try to change the world. I am neither a fortune teller, nor do I have a crystal ball. But I can tell you this much. If you and I believe in it, I know we can achieve it. If we all come together, the world can truly be a better place. But how far are we from achieving that right now? Like I said before, maybe 100 years. One can only imagine. But if we continue going on like we are today, the fate of humanity is doomed. We need to care for, think for, and nurture for the earth in its dire need, and build a hopeful tomorrow. So, since this quarantine started, I've had a lot of time on my hands. So one day, I decided to go out in my garden. And to my surprise, when I looked up at the sky, I saw a black layer of smoke engulfing the skies. All around me, people were depressed and struggling. And imagine, all of this for what? A small, teensy tiny virus. We have become slaves to a single pandemic. And if we have, just imagine the challenges that we may face ahead of us. Our world and its people are suffering, and we need to help it. Even if the government of the UAE and various other countries do their best to develop sustainable living and amazing technology, we need to help them. We are all humans, and we need to make a stand for our Earth. And let us all help the Earth. How, you ask? By taking a pledge today, you and me, working for it and not stopping till we uplift our Earth and its people and build a world as I have imagined, which will inspire for generations to come. I would like to end off with a quote by Rabindranath Tagore, where the mind is without fear and the head is held high, where the world has not been broken up into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arm towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habits, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever widening thought and action, into that heaven, my Father, let my country awake. So let us all awaken ourselves and create a world where generations will breathe the true air of true freedom. Thank you.